Hello, people. Raindrops keep falling on my head. I used to have a wind-up toy as a child that played that. It's raining today in misery. I've been for a long time in arid places, so I really love rain. I really love it. I miss it. As you can see on the side of my screen here, I broke my screen. I had to get that fixed today. But as everything is yanking at my money, and I'm not making any, I will be getting a new phone. I will get a new screen. I landed a new job, drum roll, travel job in Boise, Idaho. Yay, I get to see my family, but housing is a disaster. Everybody wants a $50 to $300 deposit, which you don't get back. And they want background checks, those 50 bucks a piece, and how old is your rig, and I need a picture of it, and what's your license, you have insurance on it, because they don't want squatters. Apparently in Idaho, it's the new Colorado, so all the fun hippie squatters are going out there to enjoy the nature and living in crappy rigs and trashing the place. So thank you guys for ruining it for the rest of us, because now I can't find a place to live. Anywho, so I have to go further out. So I'm going to have to commute probably 45 minutes every day to get to work, which is not the end of the world. I always tell myself when I freak out about commuting or whatever, I'm like, it's 39 shifts, it's 39 shifts, it's 39 shifts. I just have to do this 39 times, because that's essentially how many shifts I'm working in a 13-weeker. It's 39 shifts. You're going to be okay. The dogs have a pee mat. They can pee if they need to. It's okay. So anyway, I'm getting ready for that. And today I have to get a Liberian Africa visa. I have to request that, start that process. And of course, that's going to be 160 bucks. The next vaccine I need is 300 for that. I need yellow fever, and then the next one is malaria. They're both not cheap. But it takes money to live, don't it? It takes money to live. So I'm not going to complain because I have it. So anyway, I was requesting and missed it, a contract out in New Mexico. The housing's crap out there. You get robbed easily. It's not a good situation as a travel nurse, but I was going to take it because it was over $5,000 a week. And you just don't see those prices. There was 4 slots. They were going like that. But if you look at the small print on that, it said, may cancel at any time. So they can fire you any minute of the day on those contracts, making that kind of money. As soon as they don't need you, they're going to get rid of you. So you sign for a 13-week, and you might get 6 to 10 weeks out of them, maybe. Depending on it, you know, you could get out there, work 2 or 3 weeks, and they could be like, deuces. So is it worth it? You know, you have to think about it. You're making, before taxes, you're making over $20,000 a month. But you might not finish out the month. So, and then you have to start the whole process over again, and it usually takes 3 to 4 weeks to get a contract, which means you're out of work for 3 to 4 weeks, which means all of that extra money that you made every week, you're like, woo, I'm banking! Instead of $2,000 a week, you're making $5,000. All that dwindles away as you wait for the next contract. So it's a game of strategy. But anyway, so yeah, I'll be in Boise, Idaho. I'm going to start that trip pretty soon here. I'm starting to pack the camper up and get the girls ready to move, get the truck ready to move. Tomorrow I'm going to start actually packing the back end of the bed of the truck with my fencing and my sod grass and all my stuff in my yard. With the last move, I essentially got rid of, Goodwilled, and throwed away excess. So this time around, everything essentially that's not in my yard fits completely in my camper. I just have to put it away and tape everything down. I have to tape all the drawers and cabinets, or else you'll hit a big bump, you get to your destination, and there's broken glass everywhere, and Windex bottles that busted open, and there's puddles of water everywhere, like medicine, whatever, cleaning product. So that process starts today. And yesterday I went to Ripley's Believe It or Not as I was waiting to hear back if I had the job or not. So we went and I walked through that, walked the girls downtown, Branson. Before I leave here, I wanted to go to Silver Dollar City, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Which sucks, because I really like Silver Dollar City a lot. I mean, it's 10 times better than Six Flags, and it's morally better than Disney. And I think the rides are better because they're just rustic old roller coasters. It's none of the electronics and stuff that Disney has, but I can't abide by what Disney's putting out right now, some of the trash they're putting out. So anyway, I am just getting the truck ready, filling the tank. I gotta fill the propane tanks because it's raining, which means I'm not gonna have a lot of solar to work with to run my refrigerator and stuff, and I don't want my food to go bad. So it costs about every 24 hours, 1 tank of propane to run my refrigerator and the converter that's connected to my batteries and all that on a rainy day. So I have a 2-tank system, so I'll fill both tanks up today and get ready for that. So if I have bad weather, instead of just running on, because I can just drive the camper and run that and run nothing, and the electricity left over in the batteries will take care of what needs to be running in the camper, and that's nice. But anyway, so I gotta do all this stuff beforehand, and it's interesting. Most people, well, anybody that knows me is on here, because there's only like 16 of you. I lost a house in Missouri. I bought a house so I could be a foster mom, a big house. And I went away on vacation for 2 weeks, came back, and it had sank in the mud and destroyed me financially. So I had to empty out my savings and take a loan out for $20,000 and dump it in that house to prepare it for sale. And then it took me another 12 months to pay it off after I didn't own the house. It took me that long to get out of that hole. So here I am in Missouri, and it's raining, and my camper is, you know, it's got its little, they're called stabilizers, but they're the little legs that come down and stabilize the camper so that when you sneeze, it doesn't rock. And I noticed my trailer was rocking a lot the other day. Like, the dog jumped off the bed, the whole thing was moving. And I looked outside. My stabilizers aren't even touching the ground. Like, on one side, the whole trailer just sank in the mud on one side. So they're just hanging in the air. They're not even touching the ground. That's how crazy the land is out here. I tell you what, I wouldn't buy a house in the Midwest again unless it was like already anchored to something, or I don't know, like, I don't know, it would have to be some kind of safety measure that wouldn't happen again. Or if it started to sink a little, that particular kind of foundation, it wouldn't kill the house. But goodness gracious, it gave me flashback bad memories is what it did. But anyway, that's pretty much it for me. I'm just wanted to check in and tell everybody where I'll be. So I'm leaving Missouri and going to Idaho, and then from there, Lord willing, I'd like to go back to South Dakota once the spring hits. So everybody's worried about the winter out there in Idaho that I talked to. And what people don't know is, like, Idaho gets cold, but like where I'll be, it's almost similar to the same weather as the Midwest. So it gets cold, it gets hot, it gets windy, it gets damp, it gets sunny. And so I'm used to that. Like, you hit -1 or 2 or 3 or whatever, or 7, and then you bump back up. And getting there, in a lot of routes to get to Idaho, it's deadly. Like, Wyoming, you can get caught in a storm, you can die. if you're not prepared, if you don't have the proper gear. And so it's deadly to get out there. But once you're out there, it's the Midwest. Unlike South Dakota, like when everyone warns me about Idaho, I'm like, I just spent a winter in South Dakota, so really, what have you got? What are you going to give me that's going to scare me, essentially? So, I'm not scared about the weather, if you're wondering. I am ready. I got my furnace. I have 2 furnaces now, one electric and one diesel, and both of them are working. And I got my skirting, and I'll trickle the faucet, and I'll run a little furnace underneath the belly, a trippable furnace, so it keeps the belly warm. It'll be okay. But anyway, if you wanted to know how I was doing, that's it. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.